Welcome back. I have only one question. One question for you. Did you download this Sublime Text? Because if you didn't, then stop right now, go back, because that's what the previous lesson was all about. If you want to participate, this course, remember, this course is about being active. It's about being involved. What do you say, Josh?
Yeah, all about being active.
Because that's how you learn. So if you haven't downloaded the text editor, hit pause now. There was my pause. And you go back and download it. But I'm assuming you've done that. So we now have our Sublime text editor. And as we said, it's so much better than having just a normal text editor because it's going to format things. Now we can do cool things. So, and what we want to show you is the process, don't we? We want to show them the process. Yeah. What's the basic process that's involved here?
How are we gonna start getting some text on our page right now? It's just
So basically, there's two parts to this. Remember what you're doing. You're creating HTML code, which is the source code that sits behind web pages. That has to be saved into a file, and then that file will be opened inside a browser where it can display. The browser is the interpreter for the file. It understands what the source code means. So this source code is interpreted by Chrome or Safari or whatever browser you're using. So let's give an example. Hello, how are you? Is what we've now typed into our file. Fantastic.
Okay, so if we've as we have saved this particular project under web HTML. So now if we go to this
file,
we can say open and then open with, as we like Chrome. Because some stuff like Safari or Internet Explorer won't display, like when we get more advanced, you'll see lots of things Chrome will do that the others, like you have put in a particular piece of code and then Safari and Internet Explorer won't show that kind of stuff. So
all that messes up.
What you must always remember to do, if you've made all these changes and you keep on having the same error, it's like, oh, it's not doing this, it's not putting the new sentence. If we just say command and we hit S, you'll notice that over here it's got the save, command S. And now when we refresh our tab.
And just as a little hinty tip for you, you'll notice when you type something, it's not saved. You can see it's got a little dot in it there. That indicates that you're not yet saved. So obviously if I go across here and refresh to see the file, it hasn't got that new part that I just added. So very important, when you type something here, save. So I'm going to hit Command S. Notice it's no longer a little dot indicating that it's now saved. If I go back here again, it's now being reflected. Okay, got it. So it's a very simple process. You type your code here, hit save, and then open it in the browser. But each time when you're in the browser, you need to reload it so it has a look at the file again.
Okay, so one thing we'll also notice is with spacing, like, let's say...
Yeah, let's put it as space. Let's make it look nicer.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to say hello, and then the next person says hi.
Yeah, a couple of line spaces there.
Yeah, if we do this, it's not very necessary. Hello.
Yeah, spread it out. Well, spread it out. How about we sort of make it so it's nicely spread out. So you're hello, how are you? Hi, and then so it fills our page, and then... I don't know, whatever, a couple of exclamation marks. That looks cool. So save that, Command S.
Okay, now you'll notice when we refresh our page.
Yes, what?
It hasn't...
That looks rubbish. Anything. Yes, it's rubbish. I mean, we typed it. So look how we typed it. It was beautiful. It was like, that's on the first line. It's pretty obvious. That's on line 4. It's not working. This thing's messed up, Joshua.
Okay, so with Sublime Text, it's not looking at, like, if you've got a whole bunch of spaces and how much you're spacing it out and all of that. Obviously, if you got one space in, it's going to put the one space for your sentences, but it's not going to try organize it like that. So for that, you have to put your own, like we've got these non-bracket spaces. So it's that little bit of code that you put in. That
to tell it what's going on.
You tell the web page how much spaces you want.
Okay, so the bottom line, this is not what's called a WYSIWYG editor. You know what that means, WYSIWYG. Joshua, what's WYSIWYG? Come on, tell them. It's what you see is what you get. Yeah. Okay, so that's WYSIWYG. So remember, you are actually a coder. When you work with HTML, you're building code. So you don't just put it in like that and think when I go to the other side, it's just going to take it all like it appears on one line. So what we need to do is we need to actually put the codes in that are going to explain to the browser, in our case Chrome, how it's going to display this as a page. And that's where the basics of HTML come in, and the use of something called tags.
Okay, so a very fundamental tag. This isn't to get the spaces in, but this is like
we'll cover all of those things later.
Basically every HTML page that you have has this. So once you've saved your project as ht.whatever site HTML, if you just open it, this shortcut won't work. So if we go HTML and then hit the tab button, you'll notice it pulls out everything for you. So you've got your head. You don't need to worry about what all of this is right now.
Yeah, we're going to go and explain all of these to you.
Your body. So we basically call this the skeleton.
You've got a head and a body.
Yeah, so this is your skeleton.
So if before up until now you didn't have a head and a body, you just do this and you've got a head and a body.
Yeah. So this is your skeleton for HTML, and then
and we're going to fill this in.
We're going to fill this in with
the code.
Our website.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, and again, this is why we're using Sublime, because what is Sublime doing for you? Sublime is giving you the structure. So that was very simple. We're just going to show you once more. So it isn't HTML. We're doing HTML code. So you type HTML, and then you hit the what? What did we say? Were you listening? You hit tab. And as soon as you hit tab, we're going to use this over and over again. So you're going to not forget this. It immediately gives you the basic structure for an HTML page. So very quickly, just want to show you the structure. It always starts with an opening HTML tag. These are all called tags. So the things that occur between the two little braces are called tags. It starts with an opening one, and then right at the end is an ending one. As we said in our previous session, when I click on the one, you'll see both are now highlighted. The opening tag is just between the braces. The closing tag always has a / and then the code. So it's giving you HTML open, HTML close. We're going to look at the details of these other ones later. Head open at the top there, head close just below it. Title open, title close, body open, body close. So it's basically giving you, as Joshua said to that, the skeleton.
Skeleton, yeah. So basically with HTML, all we're going to be doing is building the skeleton on this course, which is our beginner's course. We're going to be building a skeleton, which is basically most of what you're seeing on all the websites. And then you get into like CSS, which makes it look a bit nicer. That's what you call the skin. And then you got JavaScript, which
it's like a pumping heart.
Yeah, but then that's where it gets really complicated. So
yeah, but a step at a time.
Yeah,
because
step at a time.
Once you've mastered this, the skeleton, in another course, you can look at how we will do the skin. And then if you really want to give this thing heart and make this thing run, which is all the processing and the logic, so things can, that's the real coding stuff, that's the JavaScript. So that's what HTML5 is about. HTML5 is made up of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So you're going to be learning in this course all about the HTML5 or the HTML part, which is lots of fun. You get to create a little basic website, and you're going to be as proud as a Russian hen in a Chinese market. Whatever.
Okay, I don't think that hen would be very proud. But so on the next lesson, we'll cover about what we're going to do in the head and the body and all of that. So go and fold this in, do your little HTML, hit the tab button, and get this in.
Yeah, and I just want to show you one little thing while we are here, is if we now start to play with these things, and remember when we showed you before, nothing interesting happens on that side. Once we start to use codes to do interesting things, and again, don't worry about it, but let's just say, hello, how are you? And now I've put this in a header code, and I'm now saving it. So I'm using codes to display or to tell the browser how to display that. So I go across here, we refresh, and whoop, it's gone nice and big. So immediately it's applying some level of formatting to it. Okay, so that's what HTML is doing. HTML is telling it how to display the code that's here. So your turn. Get out there. You've downloaded your Sublime text editor. Just play for a little bit, because in our next lessons we're going to have a look and start looking at these different tags, what they mean, how you use them, as we start to build up your very first website.